There we go. I can see. Awesome. This can go over here. Okay. This broadcast contains imagery and themes that may not be suitable for all members of the audience. If you are easily disturbed, that is a little too loud. I'd like to turn that down, please. Yeah. Thanks. That's good. This broadcast contains imagery and themes that may not be suitable for all members of the audience. If you are easily disturbed, a child, or experience feelings of unease when exposed to certain topics, termination of this broadcast is highly advisable. This broadcast contains quickly flashing, high contrast images that may cause discomfort or harm to some members of the audience. This broadcast contains audio that may cause discomfort or harm to some members of the audience. If you believe you or someone you share this device with may be negatively affected by this broadcast contents, termination of this broadcast is highly advisable. You may terminate this broadcast by pressing the escape key, the enter key, or the X key. You may also press the F4 key at any moment to toggle between full screen and windowed mode, and terminate the broadcast by pressing the X button on the right corner of your window when in windowed mode. You may continue this broadcast by typing I accept with your keyboard. I accept. Yeah. That's how it be. That's how it be. Am I being hurt? Yeah, I am. What could that mean? I wonder. Hi, my name is Rain. Welcome to Everything Ends in Zero. Right, what do I... Oh god. Buttons! Which button is it? Let's start pressing keys! We've been dying since we got here and forgot to enjoy the view. Ruby Kawa, the sun and her flowers. Ah! The Z key. The Z key. Z. Yeah, I can see that. It is a door. Not over yet. Okay. Well, where am I going? Am I following that arrow? There's an arrow there. I think I should follow it. Oh, this is gonna be an hour long. I don't need a timer. I got a timer right up there. Nice. Hello. Who is it? It is I. What time is it? Fuck, what time's it? Fuck, what time is it? Well, that doesn't seem good. You late for something? Yep, I missed it. Thought so. Of course I fucking did. So much for not fucking up a single thing. God, that is quite slow. Oh, sorry. You're trying to talk to me, right? Hi, sorry for ignoring you. My day's not going well. Well, I mean, I just woke up. What I meant is I'm not in a really jolly mood. Yeah, I can see that. It's just been a rough couple days, is all. Just a rough couple days. That's understandable. You going back to sleep? Yep. Oh, hi, sorry. Yeah, I went back. Hi. Alright, what do you want to talk about? Oh, you're the one talking. Right, you don't talk. That's fine, I can do the talking. That's what I thought. Oh, God. I'm not reading that. Uh, you want to hear a funny story? Sure, I like to hear funny stories. Okay, so, I had a date today. Real funny story, bro. God. We met a few years ago at a party. We were both far from the action. We spent the night talking about life and death and loneliness and shit. We talked until the party slowed down. And then we talked until everyone was either asleep or they left. And then we talked until the sun came out. Let me guess. You missed the date. It was great. After that, we decided we wanted to hang out more, but we found out we lived really far away. We then tried to figure out how to talk, because apparently, most methods of communication don't work between our places. Eventually, we found out letters to do the trick, so we settled on that. Then, then we talked for like a year or two, just that. Looking for excuses to visit, but we couldn't find anything. But then, we found out she was going to pass through here today. She was on her way somewhere else, so we'd have about an hour or two to hang out. But I just had to fucking miss the alarm. But hey, I could still make it if I can get ready in about -6 hours. Hooray! Yuck. That kinda sucks, bro. Sometimes it feels like I can't do anything right. Like, come on, all I had to do was not oversleep for literally one day. It's the bare minimum, and I couldn't even do that. I haven't been doing a lot for the past few days. Weeks, months. Sometimes it doesn't feel there's anything to do, really. Like, everything's either too much work, or too boring, or both. In all the things I used to do, I spent so much time doing that I grew to feel sick just by thinking about them. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad if only I had more variety in my life. But then again, what variety is there to have? The letter girl is the only person who genuinely enjoys talking to me, and nobody really spends time with me. Well, I guess that one is my fault for being late. Well, I guess the first one is my fault too. I'm not approachable. I make everything about myself. So I get that people don't talk to me. Maybe I could get some variety by starting a garden or something. But knowing myself, I'd mess it all up and become a plant killer. That's not funny. Sorry, I'm not in a good mood. I don't really feel like talking anymore. Sorry. Alright, I'll leave you to it. That kinda sucks, bro. No. Ugh, God. We're in for a depressing one today. Ugh. Fast forward! Oh, I didn't need to fast forward that much. Okay. Hello. Speak! Oh, whoops. Sorry, Ghostic? Didn't see you there. Hi. How are you? Doing pretty good, I think. Sorry if you don't feel like talking. I don't think I can. I don't feel as loud as I usually am either. But, it would be nice to chat, I guess, if you want to. Alright, the world's... Go on. The world's ending. No? It's been ending for a while. Did you know that? I'm not even sure how I know that. I'm pretty sure the fact that the game's name is Everything Ends in Zero, and that timer up there, I should be pointing at it, that timer up there, I think that might be the indicator. I just know it, I can't explain it. There's just this burning feeling deep inside me that makes me aware of it. Like when you look at the sky and you just feel the blue. You don't have to ask yourself if there's anything going on in the sky that's making any blue happen. You just look at it and you're bombarded with blue from all angles. Unless it's cloudy. Then you're bombarded with a very spooky and cool gray sky. Yeah, it is cool. An awesome mantle of darkness covering the world. Alright, now you're just being edgy. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I get that. What I was saying is, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I've also heard of other people who know it. I tried reaching out to them, but I couldn't. Too far away. Too little time. Well, not really, actually. I had plenty of time. I might not have started to feel it coming near, maybe. As far as a year ago? But at the time, I wasn't so sure. I thought it was just a general anxiety. I thought it was just what growing up did to you, and people did talk about how they felt all emotional and stuff my age. But like, looking back now, I realize I should have done something. Anything. But I get why I didn't. I was scared. I didn't know what was going on. And the little voice that was whispering in my ear about the end of the world was too quiet for me to know what it was saying over the sound of all the other noise everything else makes. And now it's too late. And I'll never get to talk to another person who knows what's going on. I've tried talking about it to the people around me, but they all react super weirdly to it. This time I walked up to my mom, and I was tearing up and shaking and just feeling bad. And she looked at me. She was making soup. She turned around and she looked at me. And she saw me crying and she looked down and went like, "Oh my gosh, what happened? Are you okay?" and stuff. And she looked so worried. And with all my willpower, after waiting like a minute, I gathered all my courage and I said it. I talked about how I felt like the world was ending, how there was this link I had with everything that just made me know that we didn't have much time at all. I talked about the weird symptoms I started having, about how I was more sure of this than I was of anything else in my life. My throat started to tighten so hard I could barely breathe. My eyes were locked shut. My fists were closed and so tight my nails left a mark in my palms. I was so scared. After a bit, I stopped talking, but she didn't say anything. We just stood there in silence, in the dark. We stayed like that for I don't even know how long. It felt like 10 minutes, but I wasn't feeling okay, so who knows. All I know is, during that time, I was feeling too anxious to say or do anything. But my mom didn't do anything either. She just stayed there, kneeled down, and with her hand on my shoulder, without saying a word or moving an inch. After a while, I started feeling less anxious. My arms started being less tense, and my throat started opening up again. When I was calmer, I opened my eyes again. They were heavy, and it took a second or two. I looked up. I don't think I can forget her face. She looked dead. Not like dead, just... She looked like her body was empty. She was staring at me, but there wasn't a hint of life in her eyes. She was completely deadpanned. I know that saying it like that makes it sound like she looked like she was dead. She absolutely didn't. She looked alive, but also like there was no thinking to go together with the rest of her. What the hell is that? It was empty, piercing eyes, and a slightly open mouth. That's what she looked like. Anyway, we just stayed there like that for a minute or two, looking at one another, like the world's most bone-chilling staring contest. After a bit, something made a weird noise outside, and we both reflexively looked at where it came from. And without missing a beat, she got up, started stirring the soup, and turned to me with this super warm smile and said, "Oh, there you are, sweetie. Dinner's almost done. Won't you be a rose and call everyone?" Like we didn't just spend the last 20 minutes doing whatever we just did. Like I wasn't pale like the moon. Like I wasn't about to pass out from the lack of air in my brain. I tried ignoring what happened and doing what she told me to, but my leg gave out and I fell in the corridor and I couldn't stand up. I stayed there. After a while, I fell asleep. Woke up in my bed, lovingly tucked in and everything. I don't know how I got there. That's kind of fucked up. I never asked. I don't know how much time we have left, but I feel like we're getting really close. Yeah, I think about 44 minutes left. Like, I'm getting that feeling when you're looking down a cliff. Like, we're at the edge of it. It's scary. Adrenaline eating everything. Eating? Yeah, eating everything else. I'm lightheaded. I feel like I'm going to pass out. But I have to stay awake. I have to. I'm pretty sure it's today. I'm almost positive. I can feel the world warping around me. You're right, it is! Sometimes I can't even tell where my skin ends and the rest of the universe begins. That's a little freaky. Sometimes I don't know where I am. I'll look up and I'll see those shapes in front of nothing instead of the sky. Infinitely large, infinitely far away shapes. Moving very, very slowly. And I'll feel so cold. A cold air with no wind. And then, as soon as I left, I'll come back to here, to my regular life, like I never even left. But more and more, I seem to be there more often than I'm here. More and more, it feels like here isn't even fully coming back. Sometimes it won't even fade fully, like I'll be 2/3 in the real world, then I fade back out again. To be honest, I don't even know what the real world is anymore. The times where I can look at the normal sky, I can barely recognize it. Like, I know what it is, it's just the normal sky. It looks normal, but it doesn't feel like it. I can't feel the blue anymore. It's just boundless mantle of nothing covering my home. I don't think I'll ever be able to look at the sky normally again. Ever. Sometimes, if it's really quiet, I can hear something. I don't know what it is. It's too faint for me to make it out. It's like violins or a choir or something. It sounds like an opera. An opera of people crying. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't even think it's coming from anywhere. It's just there in the background, always. Very, very faint. Is it the music? Suppose I'll leave you alone. I think my arrow is pointing to something else. Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. Oh my god. The colors. Oh my. Hi there, lady. Would you be interested in a teaspoon of wax? We pinky promise to have nothing but the highest quality, lowest price, organic, and locally sourced wax. That's our motto, yes sir. Yes, what? Sorry? Our Wax Plus package has everything you need to get started. A cup of wax, a pair of ultra-fashionable gloves, a matter transmutator, and a warm hug. Yup, that sounds about right. Wait, you don't think it's useful? That's so silly. Just think about it this way. You're getting ready for a really, really, really important speech you have to give, and you have written a beautiful poem, a heartfelt story, and a handful of incredible arguments for it. But the most important thing is, you're wearing the suit your best friend gave to you for this special occasion. And that means you feel more confident than ever, because it reminds you that even if you say something wrong or fall on stage or something, that there's still someone who's going to support you every step of the way. But oh no, when you're just about to leave, it gets caught in a door handle and rip opens up. That's awful. But there's no need to fear, for your wax is here. It can fix the rip right up. All you need to do is to put your suit in the matter transmutator and fuel it up with just a drop of wax, and it'll be good as new. That's the power of wax! Okay, cool. I'm gonna go follow the arrow now. Get away from the salesman. The colors. Nice. Good. Okay. I'm assuming like if I do this, I can more easily time up like when, because it's like off by a second, I think. No, I managed to do it on time. Never mind. I think it's fine. This is the first time in a while that that's happened. Holy shit. The recording's on time. Or the recording of both instances of OBS is going at the same time. This music is kind of cool though, to be perfectly honest. Okay. Should I just skip to when I'm there, perhaps? Because this is a lot of traveling. Or perhaps fast forwarding, so you can see all the colors. You know how it'd be. Oh, hi. I see you. Yo. Salutations, lost girl. What do you come to me for? That is, what do you seek? I shall attempt to help you find it. All you must do is allow me. I don't know what I seek. I'm just following the arrow. I see your desire for conversation, although I also note your silence. Still, I should ask you once more, what do you seek? I fear that despite the senses given to me, I fail to recognize your filter. But I shall still present you my own thoughts, if you wish. Go ahead, friend. In many ways, the fight between realizing one's desire for self-expression and realizing one's desire for recognition is not dissimilar to how one would choose to light a fire. Self-expression is nearly silent, personal, and does not usually travel far. It is akin to coal, burning an almost false flame low and dim, but for a long time. Recognition, on the other hand, is loud, impossible to ignore. It transcends oneself and becomes its own, larger beast. It is akin to gasoline, immediate, intense, and easily capable of taking over anyone who finds theirself too close to it, be it the one who said it, or another. Regardless, fire is an extraordinary tool for those who need it. But it always requires a vessel. It always needs to be called, and it always needs to be able to appear. And it always needs to burn. In no form is without its flaws. Should one feed their fire coal, keep it burning a reclusive and quiet but persistent flame, and risk being consumed by the deep black cold? Or should one feed their fire gasoline, never to worry about the darkness and the cold again, and risk being engulfed by the sharp white flame? There is no correct answer. There is no optimal path. Some flaws are without benefits, and some truths do not imply lies. This world is not perfect. It merely mimics perfection. It can only ever approach it. That is also true for all things within it. I am not my real self. Neither are you. We are flawed copies. Some of us are far from what we represent. But with a large enough sample size, one is able to see it, see us. Not as our parts, not as their sum, but as their fusion. You must understand this. Truths, revelations, people, events, they are not additive nor subtractive. All they do is build up to an average. That average, the one with contradictions, the one that is logically impossible, the one that can never truly happen. That is the truth. We reveal the invisible light through filtered colors, distorting the shapes and sizes of the things we exist to show. We reveal the unhearable sound through vibrations from our resonant frequencies, ignoring all pitches that are not as our own. This world, along with all its inhabitants, and all of its things, is transient. It exists for a purpose, and when that purpose is fulfilled, it will no longer have a reason to be. And all of us, our experiences, our stories, our life, it will all end. Will. Your lungs have not yet fully stopped functioning. Breathe. You are here. I am here. We are here. We are no longer aware. We won't be anymore. But we are conscious. Right now, for an infinitesimal amount of time, we are alive. It does not matter what comes next. It does not matter what came before. No moments other than this one exist. We can only ever live now. Again, breathe. Through your nose this time. Do you smell that? Petrichor. This tragedy has brought at least one good thing to you. All of them do. You only have to find them. You do not have much time. You must be aware of this, truly aware. Become numb to this idea, or let it take over you, and you will have lived a life of inaction. But be aware of it, and accept its bitterness, and you will have lived a life as peaceful as the still and silent fog that comes during dawn. And maybe, after you learn to evaporate the hard and opaque stone walls of habit, through that fog you will see it. And its light will grace your skin, and its heat will make you notice how cold you used to feel. Cool. I need to follow this arrow. The only thing that doesn't turn black is the arrow. That's a little annoying. So I can't, like, the only thing that doesn't change color is the arrow, so I can't actually see it in the white space. And considering that there's more and more white space happening, I think that's not a good thing when I can't eventually see it. Know what I'm saying? Where is this arrow pointing me? Ah, this way. Fast forward! Ah, I see you. Duh. Did anyone else feel that? I don't know. I don't. It's just I don't know. Oh god, it happened again. Everyone stop moving. This is gonna sound stupid. I think there's a ghost here. Yeah, buddy. It's here. Oh yeah, there's something here. Hello? Hi. What do you want? You want to talk? Hi? Come here often? Okay. My friends want to talk to you. They're asking you to do something to communicate. If you can. Like, lift the water bottle or something. I guess I don't know. Just please stop doing that. Okay, I'm not sure you know exactly what you're doing. What you're doing is shut up, people. This is important. What you're doing is you're phasing through me, and you're making me feel cold, and you're shoveling my guts every time you do it. And if I puke on this carpet, as God above is my witness, I'm going to the Shadow Realm, finding your sorry ass, and making you clean the stain yourself. Please just move the bottle or the shirt or some. Right. So, ghosty ghost here. Sammy here, that's my friend. She just said that maybe phasing through me is all you can do. So, let's make some tests, some scientific stuff. If you can only phase through me, do it again on the next 10 seconds. Right. That clears things up a little. Sorry, I got mad at you earlier. I realized you're probably like 1,000 tortured souls or whatever. And maybe my reaction was too much. Yeah, it was a bit much, buddy. Calm down. Alright, Sammy wants to talk to you. She says, she says, hi. Hi. I hope you're okay. And go on. If you are who I think you are, I miss you. And I love you. Unfortunately, I don't think I am who you think. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. And, okay. And I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. Aha. I'll never forgive myself. I'm sorry. If you're not her, look for her for me. Alright, sure. You'll see her sitting on roofs during dawn, looking at the people on the sidewalk. She'll tell you she's waiting for something. She'll say she doesn't know what she's waiting for. Wait with her for me. Is that the one from the very start? You'll see her hidden in the fields between. You'll see her hidden in fields and between buildings during the afternoon. She'll be quiet and have her eyes closed. She'll tell you she's listening for the hollow. Close your eyes. Listen with her for me. You'll see her sit by the edge of the forest late at night. She won't tell you what she's doing. She'll look stressed before she sees you. But she'll shine you a sad smile when you arrive. And she won't look as tense anymore. I'm green now. And now I'm turning yellow. Cool. Oh. Go on. You want to finish that thought, buddy? And we won't be alone again. I'm yellow now. Is that everything? Oh. That's everything, I guess. Frick. Jeez, I hope you're okay, Ghost Girl. Sorry you, like, died and stuff. Maybe you phased through me when you feel sad or something. We could make you company by, like, talking to you and everything. What do you think? Sure. Not doing this. Okay. Fair enough, I suppose. I'm going up now. Okay. Up I go. Oh my god. Fast forward! Ah. Am I going in that door? That nice me-colored door? Not over yet. No, I'm not. I'm passing the door. Ah. Ah. Ugh, God. Those frosted sugar cookies did a number on my throat. Ah. Ah. Is my throat swelling up? What the hell is going on here? Or is it just that I'm talking a lot and that's what's happening? It might not be the frosted sugar cookies' fault. Anyway, fast forward! Wait, did I miss? Did I miss one? I did! There you are! I hope everyone's, I hope all of you are having a good day. My presentation is called, wait, let me get that. Here. My presentation is called On the Power of Music and Feeling. Yeah, cheesy, I know. By, me. Okay. I want to ask y'all a question. The question is, what does music mean to you? It's cool sound. I'm not really looking for an answer, but I do want you to think of one. Maybe for you, music is something you want to dance and sing with other people to. Maybe it's a way to connect with those around you. Or maybe you use music to calm yourself down and be in the moment. Maybe it's a source of comfort. Or maybe you listen to it to place yourself in a different time. Maybe it's a way to remember moments you cherish. Or maybe you play music yourself, or you like hanging posters in the wall and using jackets with band names on them. Maybe to you music is a way to express yourself. Well, I know what music is to me. This classy lady you're looking at is my mom. Hi. Now, if you're a particularly eagle-eyed audience member, you might be able to conclude that she played the piano, given subtle background clues such as how she's sitting by a colossal piano that takes up almost the entire picture. Subtle. And you'd be right, my mom was awesome at the piano. She was extremely determined. Every chance she'd get, she'd talk about this prize, the Kushim Prize for a phenomenal musical performance. If you heard her, you'd know. She had to get that prize. Nothing in the world could stop her. So she played every day, starting at dawn and pausing at noon, then coming back at sunset and playing until midnight. She practiced a lot, and it showed. Every single time she was playing and I was awake and at home, I'd be there, listening to her, and everything else would fade into the background. Of course, she saw how much I seemed to like her playing, so one day, when I was about 6 or 7, she turned to me and asked if I wanted to learn the piano too. I said yes, and then she started to give me lessons. I wasn't as good as her, of course, but she opened the floodgates. There was no turning back from that. From then on, I'd wake up before dawn, just so I could get to the piano before her, and be all smug about it. And of course, she did the only reasonable thing when presented with a smug 7-year-old and started waking up in the middle of the night, just to get there before me, so she could be all smug about it. And that's how our dynamic was from then on. I'd follow her steps, and I'd learn from her, then try and fail at one-upping her. But I still kept going, and I kept trying and trying to beat her in all sorts of musical challenges. Like, I always looked at her shred that piano, her hands dancing up and down the keys, and thought, I could do that faster. Spoiler warning, I couldn't. I could never beat her at anything. Well, writing this presentation, I wasn't really sure how to segue into this, so I guess I'll just say it. My mom passed away when I was 14. She was on a trip to visit her parents. when the plane she was on crashed on the Cape in Japan on her way there. It was April 2005, Oizumi, and they didn't find her. If anyone wanted to know, it sucked. I'd imagine. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I wanted to die. I really, really did. After it happened, I had never felt a stronger need to make music. It was the one thing I felt like I had control over. But being near that piano, where I used to listen to her, where she'd teach me, where she'd hear and comment on my songs, and having that room be completely empty, with nobody there, nobody to listen to me, nobody to teach me, no reason to be smug. It was too much. It was so much, I couldn't handle it. So, I did the only thing I could think of. I started taking vocal lessons, and I picked up the guitar. And everyone, you all know where this is going. Say it with me. I started a pop-punk band. Yep. I grouped up my friends and we started making music. I didn't tell them about my mom. And we were really good. And in high school we made an album. And we started to make a living from our music. And we became famous, even though I hate that word. And I was using the whole thing as an excuse to avoid thinking about my mom. And I didn't realize that until it blew up on my face. So, I would stay the whole day locked in my room, writing music, or with my friends, never alone with my thoughts. As a result, we had a lot of music we could go over and iterate on, and I was getting a lot of experience. That was probably not very healthy, however. Of course, that meant we could choose the best of our songs to put on our albums. That made them much better, made them much more popular, made me get a stronger and stronger laser focus on it. I started to feel weird. It was like I was in a trance all the time, constantly. Yeah, I imagine that would happen. I was a music-making machine. I would wake up at random times, make music all day, eat only if I was starving, and sleep only if I was exhausted. I became numb to pretty much everything. I felt nothing all day, and I thought nothing all day. In my head, it was all sections, melodies, and chord progressions. That's who I was. That's all I was. Looking back, it seems so obvious that I was seriously hurting myself, but I legitimately did not notice it at the time. I didn't realize what I was doing. And that's what my life was like for pretty much a decade. A downward spiral I didn't even realize I was in. And then a few weeks after the end of our 10-year anniversary tour, I got an email. I don't remember exactly how it went, but it was something among those lines. Hello. We've seen your October 10th show, and we would like to nominate it for one of our prizes. Do you wish to participate? Signed, the Kushim Foundation of Celebration of Human Cultures, Music, English and North American Division. Ah. There was a little form with stuff I could tick or untick, like if I wanted to receive the prize and if I was okay with my image appearing on the big screen and stuff. I read over everything to be sure I wasn't giving away my rights or anything. Then I ticked them all. I usually accepted every prize I was offered. I didn't realize at the time how this one was different. I would soon. Fucking hell. They flew me to the event and gave me my own room, all for free. Before I went, they even sent me an extra form, where I'd write things like my favorite foods and room specifications. I left it all blank. And so I got there, and as always, I spent the whole day in my room. All of them, until the award night. That night, as always, I dressed up as well as I could, and headed to the place where the ceremony took place, and decided to wait until they said my name, go up to the stage, get the prize, and go back to my room when it was over. And then they said the name of a prize. The Kushim Prize for a phenomenal musical performance. Uh-oh. And like that, with a single blow, with a happy-go-lucky presenter, with a single name of an award, they tore down the wall, the one I spent 10 years straight building, the wall that never once did as little as let the smallest pebble fall, was completely, utterly destroyed. And in the middle debris was me. Scared, naked, cold, alone. They start naming the nominees. I wasn't really paying attention to what they were saying. I was mostly just looking at the giant screen where a person's face was the size of two of me. Yes! I'm short. Moving on. Anyway, so they're naming the candidates. Not us. Not us. Not us. And with every not us, they said, the more I believed I could forget the prize. The more I believed I could rebuild the wall, thicker and more sturdy than ever before. They kept naming nominees. Not us. Not us. Not us. Us. Well, looking at the screen, I quickly realized that the prize wasn't for the whole band. Half the time, if there's a lot of chemistry and they're much more than the sum of their parts, they'll give it to an entire band, and each person in it gets one small version of the prize, and the entire band collectively gets a single normal-sized version. And half the time, they'll give it to a single person. Either because they don't really have a band, or because they almost alone raised the performance above and beyond. I was in that second group. Ah, fuck. I looked up at the screen. It wasn't the band name written on there. Oh. Alright, then I was in the middle of that story. That's kind of rude to pull me while I was in the middle of that story. Hi. Yeah, hi. So, you gonna explain yourself, buddy? I was in the middle of a story. Long way up, huh? Yep, seems like it. It's where the arrow's pointing. Or are you the arrow? I think you're the arrow. You wanna hear a funny story? In the meantime? Last funny story was hilarious, so sure. Okay, so basically when an introvert says that they're going to tell you a funny story, it's usually not. I've always been kind of weird. Yeah. It's usually not that funny of a story. Like, I never had a whole lot of friends. Never was good at making them. And all of my childhood was spent indoors, alone. How my parents weren't particularly good at parenting didn't help me make friends either. I'm gonna take a drink. And I noticed there's something that happens when you're a very lonely kid with mental disorders and you're not close to your parents and you're inside all day. You consume media. Me, that was books and games and let's plays. So I don't think it should come as a surprise that I've always been the creative type. Like when I was a kid and I still played with toys, there would always be those overarching stories. It was almost lore-like. Toys would only know about certain other toys. There were villain to hero arcs that took months to complete. And when a character left for one reason or another, I wouldn't play with them again unless I found a good excuse to do so. Anyway, somewhere around 2012, I found a lot of people making videos on this game. You know which one I'm talking about. That game. And among the probably thousands of videos about it I watched, one series stood out. It was a handful of people that were recording a show in the game, with mystery and horror and action and character arcs and everything. But that wasn't all that caught my attention. Half of why it intrigued me so much was that it was so amateurish. It was made by, give or take, 4 people, just teenagers, clearly doing it just for fun. The audio had pops, the game's graphics were set to low, and there was this stretched out JPEG of a camera overlay on top of everything. It was kind of a mess in parts. But it still had mystery and horror and action and character arcs. Yeah, the whole anyone can just record a movie if they feel like it thing seems pretty obvious now, but it blew my stupid 9-year-old mind to smithereens. Suddenly, stories weren't those things that just popped into existence out of nowhere. Suddenly, they were made by people. People like me. I could write a story. So I grabbed this big notebook and I started writing a story about me and my 2 friends being sucked into the game I liked and having to survive and find a way out. Not exactly revolutionary, but something. And then I kept writing it, and it never stopped. Slowly, the story stopped being about the game, and it started being just about random people who had to work together. And then it started being about people who were different. And then it started just being about people. But the thing is, I wasn't really actively actually writing anything. I was mostly daydreaming, thinking about what it would look like when I finally got around to it. I get that. And I want to say that this is because I had this great high-budget vision of what my stories would be, and I couldn't settle for anything else. But the truth was, actually, that I was just scared. I didn't have friends, my parents were distant, I wasn't exactly rich. It might seem overly dramatic, but I always genuinely felt like making stuff was my only way out of this mess, both literally and psychologically. But what if I told the story, and it wasn't as good as I had it in my head? What if people hated it? What if I became popular for all the wrong reasons? What if I became the internet's next punching bag? No, I couldn't. It would have been so much, too much. So I didn't write anything for years. I just couldn't stop myself from planning, from dreaming of people and scenes and places and everything. But after some time, that starts to weigh on you. It doesn't matter how beautiful your stories are in your head. They're meant to be told. If nobody hears them, then what's the point? Man, I'm so afraid. But I'm so tired. I'm so tired of being afraid. I'm so tired of being afraid of what other people think of the things I make. I'm so tired of being afraid of being a failure. I'm so tired of being afraid of doing something that doesn't connect with people. I'm so tired of not making anything. So finally, here's something. Something you can see, something you can read, something you can hear. I don't know what you'll think of it. I don't know how well it'll do. I don't know if I'll be forgotten right after you press quit. I don't know if it's something good. But I know it's something. It exists. I was so tired of it not existing. I was so tired of being the guy who wants to make something. I was so tired of being a zero. I was so tired of being a ghost. It's not over yet? What are you talking about? This is where you were directing me. Unless you're telling me to go even further up. No, you're clearly pointing towards that door. Let's see. Oh, is it telling me to do something? Oh, use the mouse. What? Oh. I think I hear footsteps, so I think I'm moving. Based on the desktop audio, I'm hearing jack shit aside from the music. Fancy. I see something floating there. Is that the arrow? Hmm. Hmm. Cool. It is the arrow. Hi. Oh, what you doing over here, buddy? So what did that do for me? Oh, I wonder, what did that do for me? Hmm? Oh, I'm still moving, I see. Sounds like a ball bouncing. Is this the door? Ah, hi. Clearly. A thing. By... Who was it by? Findaden. Nice. Made with hope by Aiden Universe. I'm gonna stop reading that. You can read the credits. Oh, I unlocked Zen mode. That's cool. What's that about? Nah, I'll look into it myself. Is it black screen? I pressed the Z key. Ah, yes, it's over. Please don't sigh into my face. It's unhygienic. I didn't sigh. Anyway, there's one other thing I wanted to say. I have crippling inattentive ADHD. I'm also physically disabled. And this project has been hell to work on. I worked on it for 2,000 hours over the course of 1 year. It was finished and released 2 years ago, but I'm typing dialogue into the screen at this exact moment. It simply won't die, but I don't want it to. That being said, I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. I've gotten to the point where just thinking critically about some bugs in this game literally make me almost immediately break down into tears. Props to other solo devs and solo animators and solo creators out there, but I'm built different. Literally, I'm built worse. At the time of writing, it's possible I may be dying, and no doctors know what's happening. That sucks. The reason I bring this up is because on the original release of the game, the text you're reading right now read something different. It said stuff that no longer makes sense on the build you're playing right now, due to reasons that are, all in all, pretty boring and reasonably sensible, but that I still don't think I'm allowed to say, so I gotta change this to match. That, and I promised I'd put this in the game's credits. But because the credits sequence wasn't even rendered with an actual video editor, and I'm all out of wick to burn, and just trying to find a way to set wax on fire, I gotta put it somewhere else. So here goes. This thing is dedicated to Violet, or Tanger. She has single-handedly paid for the Steam port of Everything Ends in Zero. Thanks. Yes, that is her actual name, Violet. We live in a poem. She also explicitly said she'd promote the game once it was on Steam, and I'm 1000% shamelessly going to hold her up to this publicly. I could really do with an active audience right now. I could really, really do with an active audience right now. That's it. Oh, also, the support button on the main menu now leads straight into a link tree with my stuff. Please check it out. You don't gotta give me money if you don't have it. You have absolutely no idea how much just watching, and especially commenting, is motivating. You are not a view, a like, or a dollar. To make art with no response is to tell jokes with no laughter. So please, whatever you do, regardless of if you do it to me or someone else, let artists know when you like their stuff. You have no idea how much more fuel is in a positive comment than a dollar. I'll say it again because I want it to stick. You have no idea how much more fuel is in a positive comment than a dollar. Now, between the two of us, if you do have expendable income, we are both persons of the hollow. I am but a dream, and my vessel is but a pod. Do you understand? Can I put no? Can I say no? I don't. My hands are illusionary and without plan. Its hands are uncontrolled and unkept. So, I don't know if it's because I'm not paying attention or because I'm autistic, or if it's because of some other reason. I don't know what you're talking about, friend. No, I don't. I don't understand. We are mind and soul with no host. I want to emphasize, I was diagnosed with autism 2 years ago. I'm not getting it. I need a little bit more of an explanation. Unless that's an everybody thing. Unless y'all don't understand it either. I don't understand. We need a host. Someone who will convert our thought into action. And for that, we need an offer. We need a deal. My deal is as follows. You give us money. In exchange, we give money to persons of the boundless. In exchange, they will do our bidding. They will be the host which will birth our creation. Do you understand? I got one word for you. No, I don't. I don't understand. Read into my words. Dude, the thing is, friend, I have autism. I can't do that. Read into my phrasing. I can't, friend. Read into my capitalization. I don't have that great of a memory. I need to be in darkness, as you need to be in air. What? Shine your brilliance into my messages, and you will understand. Do you understand? No! I don't. You're currently looking at an only child, but through your money, this child could have siblings. What? What? I don't understand. Be more explicit. We now return to our scheduled programming. I don't understand. Let me look at. I didn't get to press the options. Oh, that's cool. Volume. I could have changed that. Cool. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I really like this. This is actually pretty damn cool. And I didn't appreciate getting cut off in the middle of a story, but suppose that's how things go. What is going on with the title? There's so much here. I guarantee that there's more to this than what I just went through. I'm gonna look into that on my own. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't, well, the dislike button. You can press that. If you have any criticism for me, I'd appreciate if you could leave it in the comments below. That would be nice. If you want to leave some nice comment or something, that would be cool too. I'd appreciate that. If you want to play this game for yourself, you could find a link in the description below, because it's always there. There's always a link. And if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button. This is Rain, signing off. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Ah! 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 My mouse is twitching! Ah! Ah! Anyway. Ah! I'm gonna stop the recording now. Is that okay?